Boys, I got some Illuminati shit happening in these clips today. I mean, I am observing, I am looking, and I am seeing things that don't quite make sense to me, but we're going to try to make sense of it. By the way, this is a requested video from a number of you. I know y'all wanted me to compare Luna Howl to Redrix Claymore. Let me just go ahead and say this. It's a very hard thing to compare right now. Number one, sandbox changes are on the horizon. And with those sandbox changes means TTK values are going to change for everything. We can speculate all day what those TTK values are going to be, but until we really get our hands on it, we don't know, especially when we come to those high impact pulse rifles that Redrix Claymore is. But I will be comparing things like its perks, its potential slaying capabilities, as well as the rolls itself, because there has already been speculation that Luna's Howl will be randomly rolled, which already puts it in a completely different ball game. Like, Claymore's good, but imagine if you can get that sucker with 2 traits and random rolls as well as an applied mod. Oh, it'd be nasty, man. Which is why I really think Claymore could potentially be replaced by a number of other pulse rifles, despite it having Desperado. Now let's talk about Luna's Howl. It's already speculated that this gun is going to be the next reward for the competitive playlist in Season 4. It would make sense. The gun, man, it just oozes with nostalgia. Looks like a lore high fixer. Maybe it got even like a fake bringer vibe to it. On top of that, they named it Luna, as in short for Ias Luna. And I'm gonna be honest with you, there's a lot of weapons that would make you just blow your pants out, but Luna took you to a whole different level back in Destiny 1. I saw an Ias Luna and I jumped, man, every damn time. And that only happened like 2 times. Both were rolled very shitty, but that still didn't stop us for grinding for it. Now this weapon comes as a precision frame hand cannon. Its magazine perk is drop mag, which is really nice, but look at that reload speed, my god. This is very unusual for 180s, as they normally have very bad reload. The trait on it, Zen Moment, which essentially ups that stability. As you see, it's already masterwork for stability. God, those stats, man, those stats look so good. Lord, they look good. You know, guys, you have no idea what I would do to this 180. Magnificent Howl, though, is the trait that we want to acknowledge. When you zoom in, it looks, I don't know, it looks like a bullet that's breaking air. Very artistically designed perk. And Targeting Adjuster, which is the applied mod, so it's essentially adding better target acquisition. Would I say this is the god roll? You know, here's the thing. I don't know about that, because I would honestly back up and say Zen Moment looks good, but if we could maybe get rangefinder on it, ooh, yeah, that's what I'm talking about. Rangefinder with Magnificent Howl. Keep targeting adjusting on there, but keep that stability masterwork on it, baby. Some nasty, nasty stuff can come from this. So what we get from this weapon is it really relies on you landing precision hits, because first off, you will see with each precision shot that you land consecutively, the green little light on the sides will light up. 1, 2, and then that's when the Magnificent Howl perk activates. All that means is whatever you hit next, that third shot is going to do some mega amounts of damage. Now to the body, it's 88. To the head, though, they're speculating that it's going to be around 128. Now the reason why I said there's some Illuminati stuff happening here is because we saw some glitching numbers. Essentially, guys, we had some crit values go from something like 123 to 57, and we even see a crit value go from 121 to its adjusted damage fall off crit number. But it's safe to assume that this gun will definitely have the ability to crit 1 body shot any Guardian somewhere around 0.6 to 0.7 seconds. That's hot, boys. That's hot. Man, that is moving. On top of that, it's a 180 hand cannon. Guys, we just recently reviewed Cold Sweat, West of Sunfall. We also dabbled with Service Revolver, and they all feel really good, even in this current meta. And they're all about to get a lot more dangerous in Crucible. But the one thing that can be said about all 180s is that they can land consecutive crit shots really easily, especially here on console. So something like Magnificent Howl that is activated by landing 2 consecutive critical shots is going to be a really nasty combination with these 180s. There's a lot of people in comment sections I know that compare the perk on here to something like Headseeker, but just the opposite of it. But it will require you to land 2 crits after each other. The one thing I really like about it is that you can land a crit on another Guardian, and it looks as you can just move to another target and land another crit to get that bonus damage. It doesn't last too terribly long, but you definitely see the light there staying for a few more seconds in between targets. This makes it not just a good weapon in 1v1s, but also great for team engagements. So when comparing this gun, I guess, to Claymore, you know, when should you devote time to the competitive playlist? You know, here's the thing. If you've got Claymore, great. We think Claymore is going to be really nasty in the next sandbox. But that's with our current knowledge and with our current guns. There's gonna be a lot of new weapons, fellas. I truly believe that Claymore is gonna get outclassed. Not necessarily based off of Desperado. Don't get me wrong, Desperado is an extremely nasty perk. It is the only thing that ever keeps Claymore in the ballgame. But having pulse rifles that are going to have better roll stats, better roll traits, and an applied mod, on top of that, a masterwork that can scale higher than our current masterworks, I really believe Claymore is going to be outclassed by a number of other weapons, and potentially by Luna's Howl. But it's really hard to compare these two because they're two different weapons with two very different playstyles. To me, Luna's Howl definitely rewards people that play more aggressively. And again, I said it a long time ago and I'll say it again now. People that use 180s in Crucible, you're a special kind of person right now, man. There is not many people that use 180s. But with a gun like this rolling out, I would highly advise you go after it. If you're a heavy user of 180s, this could potentially be the best 180 next season. So comparison wise, Claymore is definitely still in the air of whether or not it's going to be the best weapon within its own category up against those other high impact pulses. But I could safely assume that Luna's Howl, based on the Magnificent Howl perk as well as the rolls, because that's something we can't look over, is the fact that the rolls look good even if this is a static roll, and the stats look fabulous. On top of that, 180s look good in the next sandbox. So Luna's Howl definitely is in better position to be a more dominant weapon in Crucible. So guys, that is my thoughts on the weapons overall. Now don't go delete your Redrix Claymore just because of this video. I did a top 5 lethal primaries here recently. I said that Claymore was going to be nasty, but again, that's only in comparison to what we currently have now. We're liable to look at a bunch of new weapons coming out that outclasses everything we currently have. Well, fellas, thank you all for coming and watching. Guys, by the way, down below is a link. I'm giving away some copies of Forsaken. I saw Houndish here recently giving away some copies. I thought that was really nice of them. I'm going to try to do 3. If I can, I might do like maybe 5. But right now, I have it set up to give away 3 Forsaken copies. It won't be the collection. We're poor around here, boys. This will just be the base game. But I know some of you really want to get on with this DLC, and hopefully that giveaway can help you out. Guys, thank you all for coming and watching, and as always,
slap that like button like your mama told you right.